Noam, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people.
Excuse me, that's incorrect.
I had this thought this week. I think all throughout political discourse, basically ever since World War II, we talk a lot about things becoming like a Nazi state. And we used this kind of language during George Bush's presidency. We used it during whoever wasn't your president. You use these terms like, oh, we're becoming a Nazi state, we're becoming a fascist regime. So it's not that interesting anymore to say we're becoming like Nazi Germany, even though we might be. You have read quite a few books on World War II. You're obviously a white guy in his 40s, so you've done the requisite thing, which is take up an interest in World War II. What was the tipping point in Nazi Germany where they became the fascist regime that you kind of couldn't come back from? And are we close to that?
It was February 28th, 1933.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened February 20th, 1933?
That was right after the Reichstag fire. Okay. So the Parliament of Germany was burnt to the ground, and actually it wasn't burnt to the ground. It was burnt. It was lit on fire. Adolf Hitler and the Nazis took that opportunity to suspend most of the rights that we would call here the rights to habeas corpus.
Okay.
They basically said the government no longer has to tell you or allow you to protest legally against your detention. They passed a series of laws that made it illegal for people to demonstrate against the government, to speak out, anything like that. Once you suspend the right of habeas corpus, that is for a person to legally challenge their detention by the government, you are an autocracy.
If not for that protection, the government could simply arrest people, including American citizens, and hold them indefinitely for no reason.
What is habeas corpus? That's got to be Latin for what?
For show me the body, produce the body. Basically, it means when you no longer, as the government, have to produce the person you've detained in a court of law and give reason for why you've detained them.
Oh, there it is.
Then it's game over.
Okay, so you think we're there?
Our government has already, in some circumstances, especially around folks who they say are in the country illegally,
right,
have, for all intents and purposes, blown right past habeas corpus. And now there are reports coming out that they're talking about suspending it.
That the Trump administration is actively looking at suspending habeas corpus,
which the Constitution says that
no,
can be done.
No, but they're reasoning this whole under the threat of invasion. If you're a Republican, and I'm not talking about the Republicans who are just bowing down to Trump in terms of the legislature. If you're a Republican, just normal person, and you feel like we're being invaded, you are soft. You are absolutely soft. We're not being invaded by Mexico. We're not being invaded by Mexicans. That's the justification that they're trying to use to suspend a habeas corpus. This is not an invasion, people. These people are not coming here to invade us. They're not coming here to harm us. I understand that you think that they're breaking the law. This is not what an invasion looks like. And to use that as justification is, one, either you believe it and you're soft, or you're purposefully misusing it, and then you're an asshole or a criminal. But either way, the idea that they can get around this because it's an invasion is just lunacy. It's just absolute lunacy.
This is about a fundamental legal right that ensures that we live in a free society instead of a police state that would have a sham legal system like Russia or Korea.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.